Good evening and welcome to round six, the final race of the Formula Europe Champions League 2019 Championship. You join myself, Craig, and alongside me in the commentary box, as always, is Malk as we join for the final race of the season at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in Yas Marina. So, a quick introduction to my co-commentator this evening. As always, Malk, good evening.
How you doing, Craig? You alright? Oh, I'm looking forward to tonight. Are you?
Absolutely, certainly we're going to have some fantastic racing on show tonight at the Yas Marina circuit with the Formula Motorsport drivers, the Formula Italian team, Formula Nation and F1 Simu team as all four teams battle it out to be the overall champion of the Formula Europe Champions League. Mark, what's been your thoughts of the Champions League Championship so far this season?
From what I did last week with the commentary stuff with Gareth, it was an absolutely immense battle at the Suzuka for that Furuka track. It was just brilliant driving as well, and it was just immense stuff. There was about 6 car battle at one point near the end of the race. It was just immense stuff. But as you said, this at the last 3 races so far, there's been like 100% races, and this is the last one, obviously. But at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as well, so. It, it could be it's going to be all make or break for some of the drivers tonight to make sure that they could be the one for their team to win the ultimate Champions League tonight, Craig.
Yeah, absolutely. And the team that's in form is the Formula Motorsport drivers team, with F1 MD Tonics winning the Japanese and German Grand Prix. But we're now seeing the first laps coming through with Fab 13, setting a
Oh,
1:32.9 in the Renault, followed by Luca D'Amico for a 1:33.6, so slightly off the pace, both on the Hypersoft tyres with F1 in the Yamamoto, setting 1:34.8 on the Super, so he's certainly in prime position for the best race strategy so far tonight, Mark.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, with the tyre wear situations here, if the people are going to go for the hypersofts, I know they don't last long, if I remembered it right, back in our old days with the commentary stuff, but I'm just watching El Tonino. It was just brilliant driving for me, just going to third at the minute with a 1:34.7 on the hypersofts. But like I said, with the tyre wear, if they stay on the hypersofts, it, like I said, they don't last long. But if you on the super softs, or at least in the softs, you've got at least an opportunity to go long here. But I was on about it with like the 50% scenario, but with the 100%, it may be a little bit double, shall we say, of what they predicted. So I think with the hyper softs, if it was in 50% mode, it would have lasted about 4 or 5 laps. So I will not be surprised if they go for 10 laps tonight for the hyper softs, and then super softs probably last about 15, 20 laps, and then the softs or whatever tyre they've got for the mediums probably go at least guaranteed half of the race as well. But what are your thoughts, Craig, tonight, based on the times that you've seen? Do you think there's going to be a few shocks along the way?
Well, it's very interesting that the top three drivers have opted for the Hypersoft, so certainly feel that track position is key, but with that 1.2 kilometre straight between turns 7 and 8, certainly the toll and after lap 3 the DRS, it's going to be absolutely mighty, and that's probably the thoughts of Yamamoto on the Supersoft sitting fourth at the moment.
Oh, definitely. He'll be the one to watch as well. But just interested to see what the others are doing at the minute. I'm just watching Cartista, if that's Cartista, it's like Baptista, but Cartista as well. Coming up to the final corner now, and
Yeah,
he.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Mark, but I'm just riding on board with F1 Simu Spark. He's actually went in 2 laps on the Super Softs, so possibly using 2 outlaps to get a little bit of temperature on those Super Softs, hoping that he can actually get them up to race temperature and maximise qualifying speed. He's currently sitting in 10, sorry, at the moment, yet to set a time, so he's possibly just gradually bringing those Super Soft tyres up to temperature so that he can set a fast lap.
Yeah, hopefully he'll try and build up, but he hasn't got much ERS. He's over half percent, well, 60% of the ERS, so he should have enough, I think, to do one lap of it if he's going to go for the other superstars. But he's got to be very careful with those tyres if that's his 2 laps already on them. anyway. But like I said, Contista moved up to third after his lap, as you watched F1 with Spark. But I might just watch Spark here to see what he can do. But based on the times that you're seeing here, he's done a 1 minute 45, but he's going to go for it again. But
yeah, that was a very slow preparation, Mark. There, they're just right on board, clean up the hill, round turn 3, that hard turn 4, trying to hold on to the apex, lets the car run out wide to turn 6, turn 5, then slowing the car down to that tight left, then right chicane, over to the right hand side, down to second gear, first gear round the hairpin, it's a long run down towards turn 7.
Oh, and he's coming up to the long DRS straight for the first of the DRS straights here. He's trying everything he can. He's on full pelch here, trying to do everything he can. Hard braking here on this one, coming up to gear 1 now, then coming to gear 3 now, coming to that over the bump there. That might compromise a bit. Oh, he's lost a little bit of momentum there. They were still going with the DRS straight now, but hopefully we'll see some more action with the other drivers coming in soon. But he's coming up to the end of the second sector now. He's done a 57.5, 4 seconds quicker on his second sector time. So he needs to get to 34.
8/10 of a second from Fab in the sector 2.
Oh, okay, so just get confirmation there as well. Sparks 8/10 closer of the second sector time from Fab's time. Will it be Fab time on this one, or will it be the Spark to spark his way into the top half here? We'll have to wait and see now in the next few corners here. He needs to get absolutely spot on here. He's got a little bit wide there, but hopefully holding on here. The last corner here, he might go 35. Ooh. 35.4.
Yeah, I'm just right on board. I'm just right on board with Luca D'Amico as he's looking to set a second hot lap. He's 7/10 down on provisional pole sitter Fab, and the Renault gets that Haas tight through the chicane.
It's a new record in sector 1 for Luca D'Amico.
So there's a new fastest sector 1 time set as the Haas driver, Luca D'Amico, goes down that 1.2 kilometre straight down towards turn 8. Can he get the braking perfect as he turns that car in towards turn 8 and shifts it quick back over to turn 9? Oh, that's very neat. Kisses apex perfectly. Lets the car run out wide on preparation to DRS zone 2. Oh, it looks an almighty lap so far from Luca, and it's all about can he get the braking right at the end of the second DRS zone. Goes right the curve, slight lock up in the front left tyre. It's a bit frigging, but very neat and tidy through that chicane section, Malk.
Yeah, he's on the same pace of Fab even in sector 2. He can go for the pole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just word from the telemetry section. He's certainly on for challenging Fab for pole. He's equalled Fab sector 2 time, but I think he lit up the timing screens in sector 1 as he just comes through the final few corners, allows the car to run out wide, comes round, there's a yellow flag. It looks as if the Renault Haas is... Oh, the Renault Haas is just fighting against him, and it looks as if it cost him. He just could not get that Haas to actually play ball as he was coming through sector 3.
Fab is improving in sector 1, 16.849. It's a new overall record in sector 1. 18.4, sorry, by Matthew.
So
and
Fab
also
goes
for D'Amico.
purple, but then Matthew beats it, goes purple again. So Matthew on track at the perfect time for the Red Bull that run down towards turn 8. Oh, he's not opened his DRS, so it looks as if he's
sorry, he's not improving. Sorry guys, he's not improving. Not even look at Amico and Matthew.
So we have 7 minutes remaining of qualifying so far, Malk. And it looks very close at the front. The second and third driver separated by 1/10 of a second, but Fab and the Renault control
Fab is improving
so far.
Fab is improving. New overall record in sector 2, 39.239. He's 2/10 faster than himself before.
And it looks as if Fab is actually going to go purple on. He does! He beats it by 3/10 of a second. So Fab certainly controlling qualifying so far with 6.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah,
Can anyone challenge Fab?
Watch for Block. Block is improving. 16.9 is 1/10 from pole position in sector 1.
So as we ride on board with Ferrari driver F1 MD Block, as he turns in towards turn 8, quickly onto turn 9, that straight down towards turn 11, that little kink at 10 opens up the DRS Can the Ferrari driver get on pole and challenge that Renault of Fab? Oh, slight lock up again into turn 11. It looks as if the front left is often getting unloaded under braking into turn 11 mark.
Oh, definitely. But will he get into the top half here? We'll have to wait and see it. But he needs to get something out of this. The Ferrari driver here of F1MD block. This could be an opportunity here, passing the next few corners here.
He sets a 39.5 in sector 2. He can maybe go for P2 at the end of this lap.
Oh, he's going back into the pits.
And he's actually bailed out of it. So Block was just watching the delta of the Ferrari and he realised that he just wasn't improving. But could Block be playing the long game, Mark, bailing out of qualifying, getting those fresh tyres and putting himself in a very advantageous position in the race?
If he doesn't do the qualifying, I think he's got a massive chance, especially with the tyre wear around Abu Dhabi, because I said earlier, the tyre wear is not, they're going to run out too quickly, but they're one of those tyres you've got to be very careful with. If he starts on like Hypersofts or probably the Super Softs to start off with, that'll be a massive opportunity for Block. And also Heaven as well. Could it be one step to Heaven for him to try and do what Block's doing? We'll have to wait and see what happens here. But looking at this, we've got 4 minutes 40 left of the Formula Euro Champions League, the last race at the glorious, glorious race of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Craig, is it good to be back with the commentary stuff?
Yeah, it's certainly good to be back, but only 3 cars on track at the moment. We've got Cartista on an outlap, warming up those Hypersoft tyres, currently sitting 5th with a 1:34.1. Can he get closer to the front of the grid? He's certainly trying to get the temperature into those cool tyres on this outlap as Yamamoto comes out on track. Looks as if he's staying on the ultra soft tyres, so predominantly most drivers are on the hypers, but as we see the 4 drivers at the back of the grid, Yamamoto, Spark, Covington, Block, all opting for the ultra soft tyres at this stage in qualifying, but Spark yet to come out of the pits as Heaven and Block come out onto track on the ultra soft tyres.
Yeah, just sorry about that, Craig. I just watched it, Antonio do. I think he nearly lost it at the last few corners there, but he's still going. He's still going with that time. He's improved his time by 2/10. He's improved by 2/10. But just
also
watching.
Yamamoto is improving. Yamamoto is 1/10 of a second faster than himself in sector 1, but he's 2/10 up the pace from Fab.
Right,
yeah,
so
just getting all the way from the telemetry, 2/10 down on Fab on the harder Cryer compound. So just 2/10 off the pace in sector 1. It'll be interesting to see what he can do in sector 2 and 3 is Cartista.
Cartista is less than 1/10 from Fab in sector 1.
So Cartista closes the gap to the distance between 1/10 between himself and Fab as he just comes round turns 9. That little kink at 10, opening up the DRS and allowing the car to come across to the right hand side, trying to open up turn 11. Let's see if he actually locks up that front left tyre as we've seen so far. Oh, very nice under braking. The car sliding with a little bit of oversteer, but very clean through turns 12, 13, round 14. Allows the car to come onto the right, moves over to the left, open up the corner at 15. Fast round 16, trying to get the car straightened up, under braking into 16. A little bit of lock there, and he's attacking sector 3 like his life depended on it. Just allowing the car to come wide onto 5th gear, 6th gear, round turn 20 on that
This
run
could be
down
good.
to final turn 21. Can he improve on 1:34.1, improving in 6th position? He moves up to 4th at the moment, at 1:33.4.
Nice, brilliant stuff from Cartista. But watching Luca now, he's doing a 16.9. He's done a 16.9.
He's lower than himself in sector 1.
He's a little bit slower on his personal best on the first sector time, but Lucas going through the DRS straight now. 1 minute 47 left. 1 minute 47 left of this fantastic qualifying. Absolutely immense stuff here. But what can he do? What can Luca? Can you do it, sunshine? Can you do it? You're being good here. But we'll have to wait and see what happens here. What can Luca do? He needs to improve his time. He needs to find 6/10 from somewhere to get passing Fab here.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of traffic in front of him in the form of a Ferrari, Mark. But what is interesting, that provisional pole sitter Fab has opted to stay in the pits, so he feels that job's done.
39.5 for Luca D'Amico in Sector 2. Even in Sector 2, he's a little bit slower than himself. It don't look like he's going to improve this time.
No, I believe Luca is. It was a 39.5, I believe, from the second 2 time. But what can he do on the final few corners here? I'm not sure if he's going to try and improve his time, but I could be wrong here. He's got a little bit wide there. Oh, it's only improved by 1/100th. Yeah, by 1/100th of a second there. Brilliant stuff from Luca, but he needs to get something out there.
Talema is improving. Talema is very close to Fab in Sector 1.
Got Red Bull driver Mathieu coming on his hot lap with the last few seconds remaining. Can he challenge Fab for provisional pole? He's set a 1:33.3. He's down 7/10 compared to Fab in the Renault. Approaching turn, it's turn 5. Can he get the car turned into turn 6? We're just waiting for the update between the Delta. Oh, he runs wide. He's trying to turn in that Red Bull at turn 7, but he was quite a bit off the apex here, Malk.
Yeah, absolutely.
He lost half a second. He's up a second from Fab in Sector 2.
He's up there, but
he's improving, but he's far from pole.
Yeah, it doesn't look as if they're actually going to challenge for pole position as we ride on board with Talema as he's coming through Sector 3. Can he improve? On 5th position, he's holding on to a 1:33.5. He just needs 1/10 to take 4th from Cartista. Oh, the car just not cooperating with him. Big snap over here. Trying to come round turn 21, but he does move up to 3rd. So, although a little bit of a mistake there from the Red Bull driver, still manages to take the 2nd row on the grid.
Brilliant stuff there from Talema there. But I think Luca, like I said, Luca's going to try and get back into the pits. He won't improve his time. What can Mathieu do? He's coming to the final few corners here now. Oh, can he do it? Can he do
Mathieu
it?
is improving. Mathieu is improving. Maybe he can go for P3.
Oh, what a lap! What a lap!
Absolutely fantastic, considering where he was at the end of Sector 1 as well. So Luca comes into the pits and it looks as if Spark is the only car on track, but he's actually bailed out of it as well. So it looks as if Fab has secured pole position for Renault, but what a great drive from Mathieu right at the end there, snatching 2nd from Luca, as Luca was actually just bringing the Haas into the pits.
Yeah, Luca thought he'd just done enough to get into the top 2, but Mathieu said, no, sunshine. I took 2nd place from you.
Yeah, but just looking at the tyre strategies there, Mark, 5th, 6th and 7th, Yamato and Heaven both on the ultra soft tyres. So once those hypersofts start hitting the cliff, the ultra soft will certainly still be a fairly strong tyre. So certainly all to play for.
Oh, absolutely. But like I said, I mean, Spark has got a good opportunity now to get some fresh tyres as well. But as you said, Yamato and Heaven as well, they should last another 5 laps at least on top of the Hypersoft tyres. I predicted the Hypersofts to go at like probably between 8 and 10 in the first 8 to 10 laps of the race. But we have to wait and see what happens here, Craig.
Yeah, it's going to have to be crucial that Fab actually gets a really to rocket and hopes that that the drivers on the ultra soft tyres are actually going to be held up. Otherwise, he could be at risk of losing positions to Yamato and Heaven. So the qualifying results are: Fab takes pole position for Renault, followed by Mathieu and the Red Bull, who took 2nd from Luca right at the end of qualifying. Luca D'Amico takes 3rd, Talema is 4th, Cartista is 5th, Yamato is 6th, followed by Heaven, both on the ultra soft tyres driving for Mercedes. El Tunude for the Alfa Romeo team in 8th. Block is in 9th, CCJ 147 in 10th, and just outside the top 10 is Spark, who will start on fresh tyres for tonight's race.
Oh, I can't wait, Craig. I cannot wait for this, to be honest.
Well, the stage is certainly set, and I'm sure the drivers won't fail to produce an absolutely fantastic race for ourselves tonight.
Oh,
guys, I want to give you something to talk about, and I think it's going to be maybe crucial for the race and for the championship. The fact is, As we know, the fight for the championship is between Formula Motorsport drivers, that is the defending champion, and Formula Italian team, that is the runner-up of last year's edition. Uh, all the three drivers of Formula Motorsport drivers are going to start the race on ultra soft tires. Otherwise, all the three drivers of Formula Italian team are going to start the race on hyper soft tires. So maybe this strategy can be really decisive for both race and championship. What do you think about?
Do you want to start, Craig, on talking about the debate on that one?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely an interesting proposition that all Formula One Italian drivers are all starting on the same tyre, the Hypersoft, whereas the Formula Motorsport drivers who are leading the championship all on Ultrasoft. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Formula Italian team drivers actually work together or trip each other up. So it's going to be interesting how the group of each team's drivers are actually going to operate, work together, or actually hinder each other during this race.
Yeah, if I mean, looking at that based on what I'm seeing here, Craig, I mean, if you look second place at the minute, coming up to the final race, you should be aiming for at least the quicker tyre, at least give you a bit of an advantage to start off with. But you need to get a good start. If you mess up at the start, that's it. That race. This race, there's 55 laps at Abu Dhabi for the 100% race. These guys, obviously the Formula Italian team, they need to make sure they don't mess up here tonight because it's their one and only chance. I mean, for the Motorsport drivers team, they've gone for like the safest option for the ultra softs, in my personal opinion, because they could go longer and they will have the opportunity here to try and do some tactics, shall we say, or tic tacs on that one, shall we say, on that one. But would you
Yeah,
have gone for that one?
well, I think it's absolutely vital for the Formula Italian team to win this race, and that's maybe why we're seeing all drivers on Hypersofts. But I thought they may have split the strategy to cover off the Formula Motorsport guys there, but they're going for the win. You know, I think they're going to try and go for the top three positions, which will cover off any points that the Formula Motorsport team are trying to accumulate tonight. But it's all going to come down to the Formula Italian team really needing the win tonight, and they believe that strategy is the strongest option that they have. So we're just waiting for all cars to form up on the grid, and we'll get underway. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are underway here at Yas Marina Circuit for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Fab gets his away as a clean start, followed by the Red Bull driver of Matui, who comes across, tucks in behind the Renault as we go through turn 1 and 2 up the hill, and the Haas of Luca slight oversteer there, but moves up to third place, covered off by the Red Bull of Talimar. So it looks as if all drivers have got away cleanly there, Mark.
Yeah, I'm just watching all the drivers. They've all gone smoothly there throughout the first few corners here. But Block's moved up Block's moved up a place, I believe, on that one. But whatever happens, this is a good start for Block at the minute. But brilliant driving so far. I know it's only lap 1, but this is a good start from all drivers here.
Samu Spark makes up a place as well. Moves up to 10th, opting to start on the ultra soft tyres, dropping CCJ back down to 11th on the hyper soft tyres. So yeah, I think most drivers are just playing the long game. I think that's going to be crucial considering how close the championship is. I think there's a 10-point gap at the moment between the Formula Italian team and Motorsport drivers team.
Yeah, just watching Cartista. Thought he might have a chance here on Talima for 4th place here, but he's still holding on there. Sparks gone back up to 9th now. Tony has dropped down to 10th now, Craig.
Yeah, so Fab still holding on to an 8-tenths lead. He's looking to control his race from start to finish. Starting to open up the gap. It's vital that he breaks the DRS activation by lap 3. He's trying to increase that gap to 1 second from Matui, who's been closely followed by Luca by 5/10ths of a second in the Haas. So the top 3 drivers separated by 1.6 seconds. The top 4 drivers by 4 as we start to set the fastest laps. At the end of lap 1, of course, Fab takes the fastest lap, leading the pack round lap 1.
Oh, brilliant stuff here from Fab. Absolute Fab. There we go. Fab into first place on that one. But He's pulling away slowly from second place with 4 tenths. But there's so much close battles here, left, right, here. As you said, Craig, this is going to be the longest game ever. But Lucas slowly catching up to Mathieu for second place here. I know the DRS is not open yet, but at least if he can try and get closer and closer than ever before, he might have an opportunity here.
Picking up the toe mark, but it looks as if that Red Bull of Mathieu is very sleek in a straight line, which is very surprising for an age-round new car.
Absolutely, but he's really slow behind Fab here. It's now 8 tenths now between himself and first place. But Luca slowly coming in. Cartista might have a chance on fourth for Talima again, but still going strong from these drivers here. And there's only lap 2. There's 53 laps remaining here, Craig. What's going to happen next?
Yeah, it looks as if Cartista's just having a little look at Talima, putting a little bit of pressure on him as we come through turns 15, 16 and 17. I think he'll possibly be waiting for that long straight down towards turn 8 to just get that a little bit closer. So you may see Cartista braking a little bit later at the end of sector 1 at turn 5, looking to close that gap.
Definitely. Lucas got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and Fab has got 1 minute 38.8, the fastest lap of the race so far. DRS is now enabled here. DRS is now enabled.
Yeah, absolutely vital for Fab. He's opened up a 1.8 second gap, so absolutely crucial to be able to control this race. So he's both broke the toe and the DRS, but Cartista a little bit far behind Talima, but can he get a little bit closer under braking at the hairpin at turn 7? But Talima very quick off the exit and trying to hold on to that gap. So the gap between both drivers is approximately 9 tenths of a second, certainly within the DRS. DRS is open. Will we see a dive up the inside at turn 8? Talima, just holds his line, but Cartista playing the long game. He knows that there's 52 laps remaining and this race is certainly a long way to go.
Still, while you're watching that, Craig, watching Luca and Mathieu for second and third place here. Can Luca try have a chance here for second? No, he's trying to, as you said, playing for the long game here. But
sorry to interrupt here, Mal, but Cartista tries to move up the inside. At turn 8, there's a little bit of wheel bagging between the Red Bull and the Haas, but looks as if Cartista has got the move done, moving up to P4 and dropping Talima down to 5th. But Talima just tucking in the slipstream of the Haas round that fast right-hander of turn 15, 16 and 17, certainly a favourite of mine.
Yeah, I was watching that, Craig. It was just like, brilliant stuff. But Talima had the 3-second time penalty because he cut that corner to avoid the collision between himself and Cartista as well. But this is the trainer, I believe is the Cartista train here. So what could happen here, Craig? What could happen here on this situation?
Interesting. I'm wondering what's going on in the cockpit of that lead Mercedes. He knows he's on the he's on the harder compound, but he knows he can actually go longer compared to Cartista and Talima. But does Yamata think he's got the pace? There's a little look up the inside of the Red Bull. But I was just saying, does he think he can have the pace of beating the Red Bull in the Haas and actually having track position as well as possibly the best strategy? But he has to watch behind him. As him and the fellow Mercedes is going to come under pressure from Ferrari driver Block.
Well, we have to be careful here now because this is immense stuff here. We've got 2 Mercedes battles here for 6th and 7th, and Block for Spark as well. It's going to be immense stuff here for the guys. The guys are in the Ultrasoft, so they'll be absolutely loving this.
Sorry to interrupt here, Mark, but Luca having a look round the outside of Mathieu, but Mathieu just covering it off, so great defending by the Red Bull driver, forcing Luca to go round the outside. But Cartista looks to open up the gap to Talima, but Yamata and Heaven certainly looks as if they have the pace in the Mercedes. And they'll be losing time here as Talima and Cartista are battling ahead. But great news for Fab at the front, who's opened up a 3.1 second gap to second place driver Mathieu.
That's brilliant stuff from Fab, because that's already 4 laps. Can you imagine if he can keep that pace going on the Hypersofts? But like I said, Talima did have a 3-second time penalty, and now Spark has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. So the penalties will kick in for the drivers here, so they've got to be very careful here during the pit stops, as well as trying to make sure they get their driving stuff sorted. We've only got 50 laps remaining of this fantastic Formula Europe Champions League, the finale race at the glorious, glorious race of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Craig.
Yeah, just back riding on board with Luca. He's closed the gap to the Red Bull driver Matui, running down that 1.2 kilometre straight, opens up the DRS, gets the toe, just tucks in behind the Red Bull. Well, we see a move up the inside from Luca, goes up the inside. The Red Bull driver knows there's very little he can do against that overall speed of the Haas. And Luca just controls the turn in towards turn 8 and tries to get on down the road, but Matui picking up the slipstream, should have DRS on the run down towards turn 8, trying to go round the outside, so Luca forces them round the outside.
What a move!
Both drivers have certainly had a wheel-to-wheel moment going through the chicane, but Matui moves up to second, so this looks as if this could be a race-long battle for second, but it certainly plays into the hands of Fab, who's getting along with the job in first.
Oh, Craig, I do apologise. I didn't mean to interrupt you there during that, but it was just immense driving there between Luca and Mattia for second and third, respectively here. Brilliant driving, absolutely brilliant stuff here. Oh, you know what? This is absolutely immense stuff here. What's going to happen here tonight? Because we got Luca still trying battling out for second and third, respectively. Then we got Yamotti and Talima for fifth and sixth, respectively. I know the F1MD boys are going to try and take it easy throughout the driving, throughout the ultra soft tyres, so I will not be surprised if the Hypersofts will kick in the next 3 to 5 laps when they're going to pit in.
Yeah, and the Mercedes drivers of Yamata and Heaven really need to watch that they're not tripping each other up. It looks as if Heaven may need to start dropping off Yamata because he's going to be overheating those front tyres. But if the Mercedes drivers think that they've got the pace to overtake the Red Bull driver, I'm certainly sure they'll be doing that, trying to open up the gap between themselves and Block.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I give you an updated on the standings, because with the position we have right now, Formula Italian team will get the lead of the championship with 266 points ahead of the 249 points of Formula Motorsport drivers. So that is the situation as it is right now.
Doing an incredible battle.
Oh, 3! Oh,
yeah, it's your favourite moment, Mark. 3 in a bed down at turn 8. Oh, there's contact between the Red Bull driver of that's Talima, and it looks as if it was F1MD Heaven certainly having a little moment down at turn 9, but plays into the hands of Yamate, who so both Mercedes drivers having a good go at Red Bull. Talima on the second DRS straight.
Oh my God, Craig. Oh, what a move! That I thought Talima, with the Mercedes boys, and I thought that was going to be heaven stuff here, but brilliant stuff here, whatever happens here. But do you want to mention about the update with the standings so
just
far,
an
Craig?
update from Race Control. As it stands at the moment, the Formula Italian team should clinch the Formula Europe Champions League title for 2019, but as we say, it's only lap 7, so we'll be looking at the first pit window round about lap 10 or 11 for the Hypersoft drivers, and the F1MD drivers will be certainly looking to put those ultra softs to work, as having putting a little bit of pressure on his teammate in Ferrari Block, so both drivers looking to make sure they don't trip each other up, but at the moment F1MD holding on to 5th, 6th and 7th.
Yeah, sorry about that, Craig. Just watching Luca and Mattia for second and third. Again, can Luca have a chance here to try and close in on the DRS straight here? He needs to do this. Please be a 2 in a bed. We just saw a 3 in a bed situation here. Oh, can Luca do it? No, he not do it. But can Heaven? Oh, Heaven! Could this be Heaven?
And you need to watch, because Simu Spark is actually trying to come up the inside of Block down at turn 8, but the Ferrari driver just moves across and shuts the door.
Oh, this has been brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. Spark!
Oh, Simu Spark trying to move up the inside of Block.
What a move!
It turns 16 and 17, goes round the outside.
Oh, what a move!
Wow, drive from Spark, caught in the ultra soft tyres.
Oh, what a move! Can you do that, Craig? Just shout, what a move! Brilliant stuff!
What a move!
Oh, you know what? That is brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant driving there. Can this be I don't know what to say anymore. This is brilliant.
Yeah,
Lap 8.
F1 Simu driver Spark showing us how it's done in absolute perfect form there. Just catches the Ferrari driver sleeping right round the outside in the one place you wouldn't actually imagine an overtake happening.
Yeah, you would not know that, but you've got a chance here. Luca and Mattia again for second and third, respectively. Here, 3/10 now. 3/10 now. Coming up to the nearest straight. Coming up to the halfway point now. Coming up to the breaking point. Oh, Lucas. I don't know whether Lucas just trying to wait for his time.
I think Luca just backed out of it. He knew it was risky going alongside him into turn 8. So he knows he's got time on his hands, and he's maybe just playing the mind games with Mattia at the same time, but it certainly gets a great run on him down towards turn 8. Could be an indication that Mathieu's tyres are actually starting to hit the window.
It could be, but Lucas' tyres looks like he's still going, could be for a few more here, but we've got a few precision moves.
Oh, sweet as a nut! Block goes right up the outside of Talima, down at turn 14. Absolutely fantastic stuff. He just licked the postage stamp and sent it.
Oh, I missed that. What happened?
Just on the run down towards turn 11, it looked as if Block was actually just trying to go round the outside at turn 11, 12, right round 13 and 14, right round the outside of Talima, moves up to P8.
Oh, what a move. Brilliant stuff here. Fantastic. This has been brilliant drive. Oh, CCJ and Tony have gone into the pits now. So, lap 8. Oh, sorry, 8 laps of the tyres, but lap 9, I did predict probably between lap 8 and 10 for the guys to go through it.
Possibly just looking for the undercut there, Mark, to get back into the fight. So CCJ looks to come out 10th. I think that's a jump in the pits as Luca tries the move again on that run down towards turn 8. Mattia holds the racing line, but again, Luca backs out of it. I think this is actually Luca's racecraft and race intelligence. He knows that if he gets the move done, he knows if he gets the move done at turn 8, Mattia can actually return the favour with DRS. So Luca actually using race knowledge, racecraft, going round the outside, turn 8, gets the move done, and he knows Mattia won't have DRS until lap 10.
Brilliant
so
stuff there.
Absolutely fantastic racecraft from Luca there.
Lemon Mark.
Tell him a block! Tell him a block! Tell him a block! Block! What?
Wow. Oh, both drivers going wheel to wheel round turn 12. Will they be going wheel to wheel round? Oh, no way! Oh, yeah, I think the Red Bull driver Talima knew what was better and just backed out of it. Didn't want to avoid the collision and just happy enough to tuck in between the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, Mattia's pitting now. Talima's got another 3-second time penalty. I believe that's 9 seconds of the penalties, Craig, for Talima, so he needs to be careful here.
I think you're right there, but that moves Cartista and for Haas up to P3, followed by Yamota and having just holding on to position, followed by Simu Spark by 9/10 of a second. So Mercedes drivers just holding position there, and they're just waiting for the moment, Mark, when the Hypersoft drivers come into the pits and certainly they will have track position.
Oh! Talima spun. Sorry about that, Craig. Talima spun on before the hairpin corner. Turn 6. Thank you from race control. I lost the position. Lost the turn number there. Absolutely brilliant stuff from race control. Fantastic stuff there. But what Talima needs to pit? The Hypersofts are going to go. He knows that the Hypersofts are going to go. But what's going to happen here? We've got.
Yeah, I think he's hit the window there, Mark, after battling with Block. I think he's actually burnt through the Hypersoft tyres, so we may see Talima pitting in lap 10, but what's going to be interesting is when do the Mercedes drivers pit and who's actually going to get priority. At the moment, track position would indicate that Yamota gets the first pit window, but if Evan feels that he's got the pace, he may actually opt for the undercut and look to try and chase down Fab.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, what would you be in this situation here, Craig? Do you think, if you was Yamota's position now, do you think you should go in, or do you reckon just wait for heaven or see what happens?
I certainly think those guys will be in communication. I think it will just come down to who's actually got the worst tyre there. So if your Motti thinks that Heaven's got the worst tyre wear, then Mercedes might actually decide to put Heaven in first. So Heaven's actually followed Yamamoto for most of the race, so his tyres actually might be overheating and actually have higher tyre wear. So Talima does come into the pits on lap 10 for Red Bull, dropping him down to P9, and he opts for the Ultra Softs.
Would you have gone for the Ultra Softs or would you have gone for high one, to be fair?
I think starting on the Hypersofts does lock you into the two-stop strategy. I think it is a big risk to go onto the soft tyres. So definitely opting for quicker race pace rather than